welcome back to my channel. My name is Holly and this is She Reads, and today I'm going to be going through my March wrap-up with you.
Hey guys, I'm just popping in from editing and I'm just realizing that the quality of this video is not very good. I'm not sure what was going on, but my camera seems to be going in and out of focus quite a bit, so it's kind of annoying, and I'm sorry. Bye!
So first of all, I would just like to say that I am so proud of myself because I was able to read 5 books this month, which I know does not sound like a lot to a lot of you, but for me, that's pretty big. Ever since I had my son, I just find that I have not been really devoting a lot of time to reading, obviously because I'm busy taking care of him. But I've been finding since I started my channel that I'm really focusing a lot more on reading and trying to do it as much as I possibly can whenever he's napping or in bed, and I'm just loving it. It's making me fall in love with reading all over again, and I'm so happy that I was able to read 5 books this month. So the first book that I read was The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, and I did do a full review on this one that I will link in the description box below. Basically I gave this one about a 3.5 out of 5. I'm not going to really go into too much detail. You guys can definitely check out that review if you'd like. But yeah, this was the first book that I read, and it was not bad. The second book that I finished this month was The Bazaar of Bad Dreams by Stephen King. And this one, I have to admit that I started like an embarrassingly long time ago. Like I started this probably about 2 years ago. So I just find that sometimes I really have to be in the mood for Stephen King, which I know sounds like blasphemy for somebody that loves horror, but sometimes his work is just like there's just a lot of like really crude parts in it, and just I don't know, sometimes I just am not in the mood for him. So I mean, I still do love him, I still think he's a great author, but yeah, I have to kind of be in the mood for his writing. So I finally was able to finish this one. I had gotten about a quarter of the way through it before, and it's just a short story compilation book, so it didn't take me too long. I just kind of read a couple of stories every night before I went to bed, and I was able to get through it fairly quickly. So I ended up giving this one about a 3 out of 5. I just kind of stayed in the middle because some stories I really liked and some stories I didn't like very much at all. So kind of just averaged it out at 3, and yeah, that was it for that one. The next book that I finished was The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, and this one was a reread for me, and I'm so happy that I did reread it. The first time that I had read it, I guess I kind of was trying to get through it really quickly, which I'm not sure why, because it's fairly small already. So I'm not sure why I was in such a rush, but I found that this time I just kind of slowed down and I really took it in a lot more, and I found that I just understood it a lot better, and I picked up on a lot more details than I hadn't before. So this one I'm going to give a 4 out of 5. It's a classic tragic love story, and I definitely recommend it if you're into reading classics. The next book that I finished was Fierce Kingdom by Phillips. This book was so good. Like, I can't even tell you. It was easily a 5 out of 5, like no doubt. It was just so suspenseful, kept me on the edge of my seat from beginning to end. I actually started reading it like right before I was going to bed one night, thinking, oh, I'm just gonna like read a chapter of it, kind of get into it a little bit and go to bed. No, did not happen. I ended up staying up way too late reading it, and I had to make myself go to bed because I knew my baby was going to be up early the next morning. So I had to make myself go to bed, but it was so good. It's basically about a mother and her son who get trapped in a zoo where there's a shooting going on. So they get trapped in there overnight. They're hiding from these shooters. They're running. Like, it's just, oh, it was so good. It was just such a thrill ride. Like I said, kept me on the edge of my seat. And especially like being a new mom to a son, it was just, I was putting myself in her shoes, and it was just like so scary, and just trying to think like, what would I do? And it was such a good book. I definitely recommend it for sure. And the last book that I read was Hell World by Tom Leveen. And this one I gave about a 2.5 out of 5. This book started out really strong for me, but by the end of it, it almost felt like it was very, very rushed. Like, he tied up loose ends in a way that was like way too coincidental, like it would never ever happen. And he also kind of left it on a cliffhanger. Like, he kind of set it up for a second book, but then I don't think that he is writing a second book to it, so it almost didn't really have an ending. Like, it just kind of was left up in the air. I don't know, like it started out so good and it just felt like he just was wanting to get through it so fast and just write it and get it out there that he didn't really do a great job of details or really finishing the story. It's about this teenager Abby whose mother used to be on a paranormal investigator show, and one night while they were investigating this cave, the entire crew goes missing. And they're missing for 5 years. And finally, Abby decides that she wants to go in search of her mother. So she rounds up some of the other kids of these parents that have gone missing along with her mother, and they go to this cave to search for their parents themselves. And in the meantime, they basically end up unleashing hell on earth, and it's kind of like an end of days story, which the premise for the book sounds so good, and it started out, like I said, really strong, but just kind of petered out towards the middle and end. Like, if you stick with about 2.5 out of 5 on this one, maybe if he comes out with a second one, it would be better, because maybe the loose ends would tie up better. I'm not sure, but we'll stay tuned for that, I guess. And I would definitely be open to reading a second one if he did come out with it. Maybe that would change my perspective on the first book, but... So that is my March wrap up. Thank you guys so very much for watching. And let me know in the comments down below if you have read any of these books and your thoughts on them. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.